What's up, online fit pros? In today's video, I'm going to share the top 3 mistakes that I'm seeing the fit pro clients that I mentor make when it comes to setting up their campaigns, making their creatives, launching and testing their campaigns, and ultimately scaling their campaigns. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin Scholar. I've been in the health and weight loss space for 20 years, but in online specifically for the last 5. And I've done over $3 million in the last few years in online high-ticket weight loss coaching in my personal business, not just the business that I coach other fit pros in, but my personal online weight loss business. And so without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So mistake number 1 is not getting as clear as you possibly can with your target avatar. This is one of those fundamental errors that I still see people making today. In an effort to want to help a lot of people, they become too general. And so think of it like any profession. The more specialized you are, the more you tend to get paid. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, etc. And when it comes to building a weight loss business, when it comes to building an online coaching platform, you have to think that you're not just competing with other online fit pros, which there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, but you're also competing with Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and Noom, companies that have a huge budget. And so the more general you are, meaning that oh, I just help anybody lose weight. I help men and women lose weight, right? Something crazy general like that. Now what you're doing is you're competing in the same space that Weight Watchers is competing in, because Weight Watchers is also going after men and women in general who want to lose weight. And they have way more money than you, and they are going to beat you every single time. Not to mention that when people land on your page and they see, oh, I help men and women lose 20 pounds, it's that doesn't resonate with anybody personally. It just kind of goes, oh, okay. Versus, I help busy dads over 50 lose weight without hours in the gym, restrictive dieting, or anything extreme, right? Now, if I'm a dad over 50, let's just say you're a fit pro in their late 40s, early 50s, and you're marketing towards that avatar, that hits a little bit differently, right? Now I'm oh, okay, this is me. Or I help executive men over 40 who have to travel for work lose weight while still going to client dinners. Now I'm drilling in exactly who this person is. And so one exercise that I would recommend you guys all do is, and nowadays we can use AI to help us with this, but do an entire avatar worksheet. The first thing I have all of my Fit Pro clients do when they start working with me, even if they've been in the game for years, is they have to do a avatar creation worksheet. And it's lengthy. I mean, it's 15 questions where they have to write, a paragraph for each one, because we're trying to understand on a very deep level who this person is, what their belief systems are, what their limiting beliefs are as to why they cannot become the fit, healthy version that they want to be, what their fears are. What keeps them up at night, what motivates them. And the deeper we can dig, the more layers we can peel back on this exact person. Give them a name. One of my clients, he works with busy executive men over 40. We named his avatar Mike. And so now whenever we're writing scripts, it's we're writing it to Mike, right? Whenever we're writing the advertising scripts, the video scripts for his landing pages, we're writing these scripts for Mike. I don't know if it was Ogilvy or one of the old famous copywriters back in the day said we have to enter the conversation that's already happening in our prospect's mind. Think about that. What is the conversation? If it's busy moms that are trying to lose their weight, or if it's premenopausal women, what's the conversation that's happening in their mind? They're insecure, they feel like they're too old, they're too busy, their time's up, all this bullshit, right? And if we can enter that conversation and we can start writing scripts and advertising for this person, picking it right where they left off in their own mind, then it's just going to create more connection, which is going to get higher click-through rates, better apply rates, better show-up rates to your calls, and ultimately better close rates, and then ultimately better clients. So mistake number 1 is not digging deep enough into who this avatar is and being okay with letting everyone else go. It's okay if we are a little bit divisive when it comes to marketing, that you have permission. Okay, so that was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is not creating enough ads to launch at one time. So you have to realize that nowadays with Andromeda and the way that Meta ads specifically, because that's what we tend to help our clients with mainly, is setting up their ad accounts on Meta. It's all about the creative these days. Now, what that means is that we can kind of leave our interest targeting, like demographics, all these things. You can suggest things to it, and it's definitely worth doing that. But we want to leave it relatively broad because the creative, meaning the words you say, the words that are written in the copy, are doing the heavy lifting as far as the targeting goes. With a little caveat being that I have noticed that Meta is now kind of going back to interest-based, so stay tuned on that. I'll make a video on that. But I'm noticing in some smaller accounts, there's actually like a little AI chat box where we can like type out 2,000 words to describe our perfect client. So again, even more of the reason why that client avatar worksheet is so important, because what I did with one of my clients is we just took his entire client avatar worksheet, which was thousands of words, put it into AI and said, hey, can you summarize and condense this into 2,000 characters? And then we copied and pasted the 2,000 character breakdown of his avatar, and we put it in the ad set level where it asks like to describe your client. We just copied that in there. And so then we ended up getting a bunch of really great interest-based targeting on that. So I do see Facebook going back to the interest base, but as of now, a lot of what you say and what's in your copy is how Facebook is going to target this audience. And in my own experience, I do think that it works relatively well. But with that being said, 1 ad, 2 ads, 5 ads just isn't enough. We want creative diversity. So what that means is that every script you write for an ad, I want you to film it in 3 different ways. And so you could have one ad that's filmed like this, where I have a lighting kit, I'm wearing a lapel mic, I have a nicer camera, so the quality's good. Shoot an ad with the same script like this. And then take that same ad and go outside, walk in a park while you're walking your dogs, walking in your neighborhood, and take that exact same script and do a raw version where it's just you right here to camera, talking, being real, not polished, just audio from your phone. And then do another version where maybe you're in a car driving and talking while you're driving in your car, or in the gym. But like you can reshoot every script 3 or 4 times in just different settings with different styles, right? Maybe you do it in your kitchen, maybe you do it while you're walking in the park. So if you wrote, let's say 5 scripts and you shot all 5 scripts in 3 different ways, now you got 15 ads, right? And you can take those same 5 scripts and you can change the hook. And so maybe the first hook would be something like this, where it's like, hey, if you're a busy mom over 40 and you feel like between work and taking care of your kids and your own social life, there's just no time for exercise. I get that. That could be hook number 1. And then you could take that whole ad, keep everything the same, but just change the hook now, where you're like, so many moms I talk to feel like it's too late for them to get in shape. That could be another hook, right? And so you come up with like 2 or 3 different hooks for each ad. And so now that core 5 ads have 3 different hooks on them, and then you can film it in 3 different ways. And so now we've got 30 ads off of the core 5. And so that's the kind of mindset and thinking that you need to have when you're creating advertisement for your perfect avatar. And the clearer you are on mistake 1, which is not fleshing out your avatar, the clearer you get in that, the easier it is to create those ads. It's like a no-brainer, because you know exactly what to say: hook, body, call to action, rotate the hook out. But you got to make as many ads as you possibly can. I personally like to launch with 20 ads. So whenever I'm doing a new test campaign, which I try to do about once a month, I like to launch with 20 ads. So that would be mistake number 2, is to not have enough creative. Go there, let your mind go wild. Like just get as creative as you possibly can, because you just never know which one is gonna hit. Like some ads that I make, I never in a million years would have thought that would have been successful, but it ends up being the champion control ad for like a year straight. Right? So just don't be afraid to go there. You can make still image, you can make video ads, shoot them in different backgrounds, just go crazy, get wild, and launch your campaign with 20 ads so that you can hopefully find 1 or 2 that are your new control, your new winners, right? Okay, so that's mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is tinkering with your ad account too soon. Right? Especially if you're just getting started or you're a smaller business, you just don't have a big budget. It is what it is. Like even me, I'm spending 20 grand a month on ads currently, personally, not just my clients' accounts. I don't manage people's accounts, by the way. I just coach them on how to set everything up. But me personally, I spend 20 grand a month on ads. I'm a small account. Like I'm small potatoes at that ad spend level. I know guys that spend 50, 100 grand a month in ads. And especially at a lower spend, it just takes more time. Now, if you want to spend more money, you can get there faster. You can reach more people quicker. Meta will determine and get all the inputs that it needs to get out of the learning phase to dial in who this person is. And so you can spend more money to get there faster, but most of us, myself included, we don't have that luxury. We can spend a decent amount, right? But problem is that people will launch an ad or a campaign with like $50 a day, and then 2 days later, they're freaking out because they haven't booked any calls yet. And it's like, yeah, it takes, like, you got to give time. Like, I just had a message from another guy, different guy that I'm working with, and we just launched 2 days ago. And he just sent me all these screenshots. He's like, no calls booked yet. Should I change anything? My setters are saying that, like, you know, the leads aren't great. And I'm like, dude, it's been 2 days. Like, give it a week. Give it a week, man. Like, you know, think of how many fit pros there are running ads to your audience, whether you are targeting medical professionals or new moms or premenopausal women or dads over 40 or new dads or executive men, over, like, whatever your niche is. I promise you there are other people that are marketing to that niche as well. And it is a bid. We're bidding for eyeballs. And it's not just competing with other fit pros. For example, like, let's say you're marketing for new moms. You're not just competing with other fit pros that are also marketing to new moms. You're competing with Huggies, diapers, and baby strollers and formula, because all these other companies are also marketing to new moms. And so when you think of just how often someone's on Instagram, let's say generously they're on Instagram for 30 minutes a day, right? How many ads are they going to see in 30 minutes? A dozen? 15 maybe? It's a bid. If this is your ideal customer who has a little bit of money, who clicks on ads, who buys things, Instagram's gonna be wanting to show everyone's ad to this person, and the person who can bid the highest wins the eyeballs, in other words. And so you can't be too quick to tinker with your ads. You have to give it time to attribute and for Facebook to find this person and people like them that will actually click your stuff. And so my rule of thumb is 1 day a week, you block out an hour for ad account optimization. And then once you make your changes, once you change the budget, once you rotate out creative, once you kill creative and scale up other ones that are winning, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone, because things happen. Like, geopolitical stuff affects your ads. Weather patterns affect your ads. If there's like some crazy stuff going on politically in the world, which there always tends to be, and there's also a crazy weather event like the bomb cyclones that were hitting the Midwest not too long ago, or the snowstorms that hit New York, everyone's feed is full of that stuff. It's current events. It's what these leaders of the countries are saying. It's what this, like, 8 feet of snow dumped on whatever. Like, that's what people are seeing in their feed. And so because of that, like, they're not gonna see ads. They're not gonna click on ads. They're getting bombarded with current events in that moment in time. And so you have to be sensitive to the realities of what's going on in the world around you, and also just be patient and understand that, like, you're small potatoes. You're not Huggies. You're not, you know, Honda minivans marketing to the same audience that you are. And so you just have to give time, let it find your audience. And the more, once you start making deals, once you start booking calls, and we send that data back to Facebook to say, hey, this person booked a call and became a client, every time we send that signal back, then it helps Facebook understand who your ideal client is a little bit better. And the better it gets, the better it gets. And before you know it, all of your leads will be coming in who are the right person, and you'll have a very predictable lead cost and lead flow because of that. And so, but that does take time. And so to wrap it up, rule of thumb, 1 day a week, you go in and optimize, rotate creative out, and then you just let it simmer, because you might have a couple of days that everything sucks, but if you jumped in there too soon and started tinkering, you can break something. And the worst mistakes that I've personally made is just tinkering too soon, just getting in there and just messing with things, and then it broke, and then I have to go and reverse engineer the whole thing to figure out, like, where I went wrong. Where in hindsight, had I just let it chill for 3 or 4 more days, it would have resolved itself. And so those are the 3 mistakes to avoid, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, there's a link in the description. You can either A, book a call with me to see if working together would make sense. If you are a fit pro who's interested in scaling your company up and you want predictable leads in your clients, or predictable calls on your calendar, click the button below. You can schedule a call with me and we'll talk. And then depending on when you're watching this video, I am going to be rolling out a complete course that was more like a do-it-yourself. If you don't want to pay the high price of working with someone like me one-on-one, then there's going to be a sort of A to Z course where I break everything, every step of the way in order to get your ad account and your business in general up to a level where you can be competitive and start bringing clients in and closing $2,000, $3,000 coaching packages. So thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.